Well. That information text? Which one? How are you guys doing? How has your weekend been? Today, it's an AniManga Club day, which means that we're going to be discussing the last part of Blue Period, as well as, deciding on the new manga that will be, or new series that we'll be watching / reading. It seems like there's a bit of a tie going on, however. Otherwise, welcome, Silent Side, Solstick, and Virgil. I checked, and for whatever reason, it's persisting old conversation history of Helios, but I suppose we'll see him soon. That blue guys don't cure baldness? They don't! They don't. The information text is completely factual. I would never lie to you in any of these, and you should know that schmaloogles, they do not cure baldness, so everything I put on the tip screen is 100% factual. It's been fact-checked, I've had multiple analyses performed, I've had everything ran through, and I can with 100% certainty say that all of the facts on the fact screen are 100% fact-checked. At least mine. All of yours? I can't say for sure. Here I am. Welcome! Rock you like a hurricane. How are you doing, Helios? How is everyone doing? How was everyone's weekend thus far? I finished Dead Space 2. You clear through games really fast, I gotta say, Virgil. You do not give any time. Like, how long ago was it that you bought the game to be able to be done with it already? My goodness. However, I'm just gonna wait a little bit, like maybe 5-ish minutes, something like that, until we've got a couple more people hanging around and whatnot to be able to discuss some of Blue Period, both its ending, the manga chapters and anime differences, because I took a little bit of a liberty with my viewing of it, where I read some of the chapters and whatnot, and then decided to watch the anime. So I felt like there were a couple of discrepancies, just generally, even if the chapters ended on different parts compared to the anime. It was quite interesting. 3 days ago, can I suggest a song? You may suggest a song, however, will I listen to it here? That's a difficult question, because I think that very few songs are actually permissible to listen to, so to speak. Also, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but my internet is slightly faster now, which means we've got 60 FPS, a smooth 60 FPS. I know, it's wild, but I'm looking at my OBS, and it is completely clean. It is a complete, clean 60 FPS. In fact, it's 60.03 FPS. So, a little bit faster than what we'd expect, a little bit Why? Okay, immediately, I'm checking the server because I thought you were posting the Devil May Cry song, and now Scythe is posting me in the Hall of Shame. That's okay, that's not what I wanted to tab into, but I suppose I'm here anyway. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What are we feeling for a little bit of a background game in terms of discussion with something? I don't know, I don't have Subway Surfers, obviously, but I want to keep your attention while we discuss a little bit of Blue Period. Maybe I was thinking no. Not that, Okami. I was thinking maybe we could be playing through some Chaos Zero Nightmare in some of the background while we just talk over a bunch of the Blue Period stuff. Because I hope you all have done your reading, I hope you all have done your watching. Either one of those is fine. I did a little bit of both. I wanted to experiment a bit. I don't know where Mr. Brown is, but he last time told me that he binged all of it. He binged all of it right before the stream, which makes me worried that even still, he's probably not gone through it. So we'll have to see through that. Otherwise, I'm, you know what, I don't think anyone's opposed to me playing a little bit of Chaos Zero Nightmare. We'll play some Chaos Zero Nightmare in the background while we discuss some Blue Period. And we'll swap over to this while also disabling the music a little bit. I was gonna post it in chat. You're more than free to, but I think I would have to listen to it afterwards, after stream, just because I'm not sure how it works out with some of the copyrightable stuff and monetizable content or whatever. Not that I'm like super concerned, but I've had my streams completely muted before as a result of it, so we'll have to see about it. Otherwise, my weekend was pretty good. Pretty good. Cool, let's go. Chapter 14 has one of my favorite scenes, though it was cut a little. Are you meaning with regards to the anime it was cut a little bit? Little bit. But otherwise, I think we should all give our encompassing opinions of what's it called? Blue Period. I feel like they gave more time to breathe in the anime. Oh, so you feel like inversely the amount of time that they gave for certain parts in the manga was actually cut? Or how do you mean, Helios? Okay, maybe I should create a little graphic on screen as well so we know what we're talking about while I play this, or while I'm playing at the same time. And just because I think it would probably be useful for people to know. On-screen subtext, now discussing Blue Period. Whoa. And then we can change the background for this. Let's change the color to, I don't know, let's make it like purple. I love purple. Purple's my favorite color, if you can't tell by how I use it like absolutely anywhere and everywhere. It probably doesn't look the fanciest because I don't have any graphics for it, but we can have it there. Okay, now discussing Blue Period. Whoa! Now we know! Now we know! Yeah, like I said last time, the scene with his mom you like so much, I felt like they gave that scene more energy to... more time to breathe in the anime. It's... The manga, it's basically just a few panels, which makes it feel cut a little bit short. Yeah, I feel like that was largely my feelings when it comes to a lot of the different scenes in Blue Period. I think there are some parts or some developments to it that didn't feel like they had enough time. I think there were some of the scenes, and maybe this is a little bit persistent. I did swap over to the anime for a couple of episodes, and then I read through it as well. And I noticed that some of the interactions with his friends, like, okay, I'm really bad with names. I'm so sorry if I'm gonna fumble the names, so I'm just gonna have to refer to them by their appearance. Which means that I'm gonna have to go off of vagaries instead of something like properly substantive to it. And in Chapter 14, the same thing happened with the scene when he goes to eat with his friend and him confessing about the pastry school. That is exactly, yes, that is exactly the scene that I was going to talk about. Oh my gosh, I think you've read my mind with this one, Helios. But yeah, I think as well, again, it's not going to be critiques, so to speak. It's going to be just more like immediate thoughts and opinions of it. I think my immediate thought to that is that in the manga, it really felt like I can read through a lot of it really quite fast, which meant that when I do get to that point in the manga, it was really, really quick. It was really quick, and I didn't, I think, get to enjoy it as much as I thought I would have. Which meant that some of the emotional impact for some of the scenes, they didn't play out in, like, a determined manner. I feel like whenever it comes down to, for instance, the anime versus the manga, one of the things that I have to give credit to with anime is that the pacing is decided for you in terms of, like, how much time they can provide to certain scenes, how much you can watch said scenes and figure out, I don't know, like, key details about it. For instance, when you're watching it and you've got an entire minute dedicated to the breaking down of and crying and confession, etc., I think that is really significant comparative to the manga, where you will probably spend about 5 to 10 seconds at most kind of indulging in a really sad scene. I agree. I feel like it was better in the anime, but I'm not 100% sure. No, I 100% agree, actually. I watched, like, the first... Okay, so because we split this up in two parts, when I say first episode, I actually mean episode 7, and when I say last episode, I mean episode 12. but I watched the episodes for 7, 8, and then 11, 12. And now I did that mostly out of like time constraints, but I read everything else. And I felt like one of the primary differences was because of the pacing and because of how they've split up everything. The fact that the anime was a little bit more elongated for some of its scenes meant that it could focus on those scenes a lot more. And I think that was way more beneficial to Blue Period as a whole. I think one of the issues that was kind of prevalent, not only because of the pacing itself, was whenever they previewed or showed any of the drawings and whatnot, I feel like you didn't really get a feeling for the actual drawn pictures and paintings and everything that happened in the show. I feel like when I was able to see it colored in, it made way more sense. It made way more sense to actually see all of the paintings with color. Because yes, the black and white sketches do make sense for the actual manga itself, but not whenever he's talking about, oh, the color composition here, and he's having to describe the color rather than being able to just show you what color everything is. Even though it doesn't cover the whole story, but Blue Period is one of those rare examples where its anime did better than the manga. Yeah. I think I begin to agree with this, and in a way, I feel like I'm quite satisfied having watched and read both forms of it. However, I do think that I would from now on always recommend the anime. I also, until I watched an episode of the anime, had no clue the opening was that one. I forgot what the name of it was. Blue Period opening. Well, what's the name of it? Yeah, the one by Everblue. Omoi no Take. Yeah, that one. It's really good. I had no clue that I had accidentally listened to, like, Everblue on repeat while realizing, oh, this is actually the opening for Blue Period. So I'd been listening to it on repeats, like, a couple months ago, I think around the beginning of the year or something like that, without realizing this is where it was from, so to speak. Because I don't know if it was specifically composed for Blue Period. But yes, I think my two main things that I would say about Blue Period is that the pacing and the actual paintings themselves for Blue Period are done way better in form of the anime than I think they are for the manga itself. If you watch episode 1, they even make Shibuya scene in blue hues. Yeah, that's the thing. I watched a little bit of it, but I was like, you know what? I'll just read the manga. I've got time. I'll just read the manga instead, so I didn't really do that. Yeah, the anime really added a lot. I think because they were given the opportunity to do all of the animations, because they were given the opportunity to draw and provide it with an art style, that it gave it the attention it deserved in that sense. And I gotta say, I don't really know a whole lot of, like, manga or anime that do the same thing, that take advantage of it being the animation art form. Like, yes, there are some that do it with, like, action scenes and combats and whatnot, but you never really see it in an artistic sense. Like, if I were to try point out a singular example of it, I could probably say something like, Devilman Crybaby, and that would be one, but I feel like even then, it's largely relegated to its being a mostly animated anyways. So even when you put them side by side and you have the manga form and the anime form, it's nearly always going to be preferential to manga in other cases. But with this, I think it really takes advantage of it being animated by allowing you to work with a lot of the different animation, to show a lot of the different colors for the paintings and the characters, to draw on scenes drag on scenes because of their emotional impact, etc. The only genre where it makes sense is usually music, since you can actually hear the music. That's also true. I would probably also say that I kind of like listening to an anime's soundtrack while reading the manga version of it. Devil May Cry Baby. Devilman Crybaby. You know what I meant. You know what I meant when I said that. I'm basically right, okay? Don't harp on me for that one. You gotta admit, I was close enough, and that's what matters. It's the thought that counts, okay? Devilman Crybaby. I'm aware now. So all in all, I think it was pretty good. I do have to say, however, that I'm still by my beliefs in the fact that I would probably not read or watch Slice of Life otherwise if it weren't for this club that we're doing. So I admit to that. I probably wouldn't have were that the case. But what did you guys think? Okami, what did you think? Silent Scythe, Virgil, I don't know, Solstice, maybe you participated a little bit if you wanted to. But what did you guys think of Blue Period? How did you guys feel about it? Maybe the climax or how it came to be. In your opinion, how did the anime seem to play out for you compared to the manga if you decided to watch both of them or read and consume both of them? Did the manga until chapter 26 actually include the scene where the MC goes to that beach hotel and cross-dresses the friend? That scene also had a lot more weight in the anime. It covers it, but it's like closer to, I think it might have been chapter 24, 25. I only read up until 25. And I watched the anime, and that felt a lot more slow than the manga did. Again, it's like maybe 3 pages at most, where they were like, oh yeah, by the way, this happened. And they were like, let's draw our naked bodies. And that was most of it. That was basically it. There wasn't much else to it. Bro, you can't fix this guy's trash taste. I do not have trash tastes, okay? I do not. I just happen to really enjoy my fantasy stuff. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Sure, maybe it's, maybe I consume a lot of isekai slop, but still, I think that at least my tastes are fairly good otherwise, generally. Largely. So if you find the time, Og, please watch the whole anime. I'll have to see. I don't want to give any, like, certainties to it, because I've watched 4 episodes of the anime and whatnot, to which I feel like that was probably enough, because I have read all of it, and then I began to watch it as well. So, maybe? We'll have to see. Yes, I agree with everything Helios says. Are you saying that ironically, Silent Scythe? What do you mean? I mean, if we go through some of the main points, maybe let's try it as, what do you guys think was your favorite scene, and what do you think was the most impactful scene to you? Because I still feel like the part where he was speaking to his mom about wanting to go to art school, I feel like that was probably the most significant one to me. And I feel like, again, with the pastry scene, his friend confessing, oh yeah, I always wanted to go to pastry school, I feel like that one was also pretty significant in that sense. I think those two stuck out the most to me, which is kind of ironic, because for a manga about all of the trials and tribulations of going to art school and everything, and what it means to create arts and how to think about arts, etc., it feels a little bit weird that the scenes that stuck out most to me were the parts that weren't actually about the arts itself. So, I read the colored version of the manga, so I didn't have the same problem, though fan-colored, but on the topic of art style, I found that it was very similar to Hoseki no Kuni. I didn't know there was a fan version where it was actually colored, and that makes more sense in that case, because I found one of the reasons to be really difficult to connect with the arts was because he was describing, like, oh, I'm going to draw all of this arts in a way that's, like, you can see the canvas, or you can see a part of the canvas through the paintings, and he'll dilute it with turpentine, and he'll, like, slightly paint borders and outlines, and it just... You don't really see that in the same way with all of the color on screen or anything like that, so I felt like that was kind of lost whenever I was reading the manga, so I didn't know there was a fan coloring of it. I'm here, hello, I was showering. Hello, Mr. Brown. You're late. You're late for the discussion of our AniManga Club, and I thought you would be early. One of my favorite scenes... Oh my gosh, 25 stream streak? Good job, dude. Thank you. Thank you so much. One of my favorite scenes was when he awkwardly asked his high school art teacher if it was okay to do art as a hobby. That scene was really good in the anime. was okay to do arts as a hobby. I'm trying to think back on which part that was, because I'm having difficulty remembering. So what I do is that I was watching each part of it, like, gradually. I was watching one episode a day, basically, and that's how I came to finish it basically today. So the freshest thing in my mind was when he got accepted into the art academy, and that's like basically where I'm at with it. That was in the first 13 chapters. Oh, okay. So when he was immediately talking with his art teacher about it. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late for the important date. I've got to go. I've got to go. I'm late. I'm late. I'm late. Oh, I forgot to say Happy Mother's Day, Aug? What? Why are you saying Happy Mother's Day to me? I'm a boy. What do you mean by that, Okami? Okay? Sure. I'm stun-locked, I guess. Yeah, I don't remember exactly why. We're like your kids. You're my apprentices. I didn't birth you or anything like that. Why are you instead fresh? No. What are you talking about? I don't recall this whatsoever. You came in as Spawn. Like, exactly. Put this in the Hall of Shame. Someone put this in the Hall of Shame. I refuse. Don't disown us. I mean, you're my apprentices, but whether or not I disown you is a bit of a different question, isn't it? I don't think... This seems we are wizardling apprentices, not wizardlings. That makes it sound like you are my kids. You're not my kids. You're not my kids. Either way, why did you have to derail the conversation from Blue Period to say something like this? How dare you? How dare you do this to this wonderful conversation that we were having about Blue Period? What are you on about? He's disowned us? Mama! No. What is with you? Can we go back to the topic of discussion? Okay. Anyways, Mr. Brown, what were your thoughts? I remember, and I was commenting a little bit earlier when you weren't here, what were your thoughts on the show or the manga? Because I remember you mentioning one time that you were like, oh, I actually binge watched everything before the stream started. So where do you find yourself now? Did you manage to watch everything? And what are your thoughts on it? As well as, like, what did you guys think about the finale? I feel like there's a little bit of conflict whenever it comes to the ending of shows, especially when compared with manga, because manga has no obligation to, like, leave on a cliffhanger or end something on a cliffhanger, but I always feel like when shows try to adapt the manga, I always feel like that's the hardest part to do. No more wizard heritage for us, I guess. This is so unrelated. You guys, you're not gonna inherit anything. If I die, I'm turning into a lich, and I'm still keeping all of my stuff. None of you are inheriting anything that I've made, okay? Stop that. You're not going to inherit anything in my wizard tower. It's all going to be mine, and it's all going to become a part of my lich fiefdom and everything. What do you mean? What? So I feel like in the case of Blue Periods, the ending is selfish mama. No, I'm not your mama. You're not getting this out of me. You're not getting this out of me. As I was saying, the ending of Blue Period, I feel with the anime was also a bit better because it could drag on a little bit. Like, when it had the whole reveal that he was a part of the passing students for Gaidai, I think that was also much better done in the anime than it was in the manga, because it did give you a bit of time as well to, like, kind of digest or consume that. Yeah, I remember seeing some of these paintings and whatnot as the beginning of the chapters, but I'm looking now at what you posted, Helios. But honestly, I feel like they should have had those, maybe some of the paintings, like, actually colored in. I like the references anyway. I feel like there should have been colored in paintings nonetheless for some of the actual arts that the characters themselves produced. So I think that would have been nice. The ending was different than I expected, lol. I hoped for maybe even a small scene of him either during university or even after he finishes it. Also, I didn't say it last Sunday, but Ryuji turning out to be a dude surprised me. Lol, even though it makes sense from the name, I guess. And both Ryuji and Yaguchi drawing themselves naked surprised me too. I thought for a bit there was going to be some sudden romance. I think it was revealed fairly early on that it was actually, Ryuji was actually a boy that liked to dress up as a girl because he liked to present that way. Though, I think he also says that it would have been much more convenient for him were he to also have liked boys, but I think he likes girls nonetheless. So he only likes presenting that way. I don't belong in here, says Okami, aka Chicken Juggler. No, you do. You're in the Hall of Shame for a reason. There's a reason why you're there. I do like the arts allusions, or the allusions to classical arts with some of the chapters, though. It's very cute. It only showed after he got rejected by a guy, at least in the anime, unless I didn't pay attention. Maybe it was a manga-specific thing then. At least I remember it as a part of the manga that he had admitted or said that, oh yeah, I'm actually a guy. Or there was one scene, like, when he was first introduced, he was like, I think Yaguchi commented or something like that, that he didn't like Ryuji. And it was some kind of comment on that he acts like so full of himself or whatever, but, oh, I guess he dresses up the way he does because he wanted to draw attention to himself. But then after getting to know him, that didn't turn out to be the case, so it was more the actuality that, oh, he's doing it because it's how he expresses himself, maybe there's more depth to him, etc. So in a way, it was like, oh, judging a book for its cover, but at the same time, how much did he actually know Ryuji at this point in time, and how their friendship, I guess, developed later on as a result. So, also, yeah, he's already in there. You've been permanently set in stone. It's been etched in stone that you now exist in the Hall of Shame because you keep calling me your mom, Okami. You can't just show up and do that. Like, yeah, you're not my kid. You're not my kid. I disown you. I disown you. Otherwise, okay, I don't usually like doing this, so instead of a rating system, I think I much prefer giving a, do I recommend this or do I not recommend this score? You know, like, is this better to do or better to read, or is this better to watch, or should you not bother with it at all? I think Blue Period is one of the few slice of life, because, okay, I don't watch a whole lot. Okay? I don't watch a whole lot of slices of life. Slice of lies. You know what I'm saying? So, I gotta say, with Blue Period, I would probably recommend it as, like, a slice of life for people that want to learn a bit about arts. It has a little bit of slow pacing, and I feel like the pacing is way better done in the actual anime itself. Would I recommend it? Yes. However, I would probably say it's more worth going into the anime itself for it. Genuinely. Because I think there is a lot to the anime. They also showed, they also had the scene where they showed Ryuji/Yaka's parents throw away all their belongings in that scene, also so much heavier in the anime. Yes, that was one of the scenes as well that I was, like, somewhat surprised was really short in the manga. I think it was a little bit unfortunate that there were so many shortened parts in the manga, because you would have expected that when it comes to the manga, that because you have the entire ability to, like, draw out and, like, literally draw out. Like, it talks a lot about the various artistic techniques to painting, to drawing, to oil painting, to sculpting, etc., and the composition of art. Like, just a lot of general theories and principles and things that you have to keep in mind with art. It feels somewhat surprising that a lot of, like, the main standouts to me were rather the allusions to existing arts rather than the actual use of those compositions for manga panels in general. I know that, like, manga itself doesn't have to be artsy-fartsy, or drawing it in that kind of way can make it a little bit difficult to consume as a manga, but I feel like for scenes like that, for scenes where Ryuji had all of her stuff, or his stuff, thrown away, and where Yaguchi was undergoing the whole, like, Blue Shibuya, and his, like, when, I forget what his name was, the genius kid. The genius kid finally complimented and said, Yaguchi, I actually see some talent in you. Wow, this really annoys me. For when it came to some of those scenes and when he broke down crying, I do genuinely think that, like, that would have been good to have had as a, as a drawn picture or a painted picture scene, rather than just being like flat manga panels where I can skim through everything in like a couple of seconds. You know, maybe it was because of like a pressure due to having to put out a certain amount of chapters each week, something like that, but I do genuinely feel like it would have benefited a whole lot from that. Like having the technique, the composition, the skills discussed, all used in the actual manga. So, I think what happened here is that the manga wanted to be more of a shonen-esque art battle story, and here we see in the first, 25 to 30 chapters that manga doesn't really know what it's supposed to be. Says Helios. Mr. Brown says, the anime was pretty interesting. I definitely wouldn't have watched something like this by myself. Lol, I would probably recommend this for someone to at least try out the genre of anime as a chill watch. I gave it an 8 out of 10, very good rating. And yeah, I'd always recommend this anime over the manga for this one. Yeah, I can see that. I probably don't want to attach a rating because I feel like ratings can be slightly arbitrary when it comes to manga and whether or not... Like, this is just a personal opinion, right? I know that when you attach a rating, you have some set of standards and you have some level of quality that you kind of want to attribute to any piece of media. Like, you have then put some kind of burden of proof on the rating that you provide for it, which is why I think to myself, if I attach some kind of rating to something, that I probably wouldn't do that. So I think, as an overall thought, I would say that I would recommend watching Blue Period rather than the reading of it, because I think emotional scenes, for sure, are way more lengthy, way more drawn out, which gives them the attention and care that they deserve, as well as the music really helps with that. And I think some of the voice acting as well, like, you can have voice acting elevate scenes, and I would have thought that an artistic manga, because it's focusing on the arts and the creation of arts, etc., would have included way more in regards to how it presented all of the artistic scenes and whatnot. Because I felt like some of the scenes, whenever I was reading through it, I did feel it was a little bit difficult. I have to admit, it was quite difficult to get through some of it, because sometimes it would be a full chapter just talking about artistic techniques, and while it's interesting, it did feel like I was studying. It was like talking about, okay, when you draw the compositions, you actually draw them with simple shapes, and then you have to sketch this out every now and then here like this. Oh, you're not understanding the composition to this. You're not seeing for what it is or what it's meant to make you feel. You're only seeing it for what it's showing. And I feel like some of these scenes in the manga really felt like it was trying to hammer home that rather than trying to deliver it as an experience, you know? I feel like when you have anime and manga tends to present itself, at least in the case of Blue Period, as something that's trying to both educate you and trying to teach you about it. Okay, that's pretty much the same thing. Blue Period is trying to educate you on something while also trying to describe the experience of something, right? Whereas the anime form of it is trying to deliver the experience of it while also trying to give you some insight into how things are drawn and how art is made, but it doesn't entirely encompass as much of the artistic techniques as the manga does, which I think is probably the main, like, difference between the two. I feel like there was a very clear intent with the anime over the manga, and I think that's why it stands out so much more. Yeah, some of the dialogue, to be honest, went over my head, but I tried somewhat. Yeah, I feel like that's very fair. to say. Some of the dialogue, it does kind of gloss over it pretty quickly. At least in the manga, I feel like that was a little bit more egregious, because either you have the choice of too much dialogue where it discusses everything, or you have too little dialogue. But I think the anime, for what it does, because it decides to drag out certain scenes longer, it does make it better. It makes it way better in terms of, like, okay, you have the dialogue itself, and you have the emotional delivery of it in the anime. So you're given it at a set pace. So they might have tried to emulate this in Blue Period, but it kind of worked against them. Wait. Sorry, I think I skipped the last part. Yeah, I'd always recommend the anime over the manga for this one. Yeah, the Bakuman, for example, does the teaching theory part a lot better. They might have tried to emulate this. Oh, okay. They might have tried to emulate Bakuman, how they teach, in Blue Period, but it kind of worked against them. Yeah, that I feel very strongly about. Because, again, there were a lot of scenes that felt like, had it decided that they would teach you, it might have done better if they tried teaching you in a way that was with the characters, but I don't know, it felt like I was being spoken to as a reader, not as someone reading. So when I say this, I mean it in context of, if you were to pick out, let's say, a textbook and a story about someone attending a class for, I don't know, that textbook in particular, the difference largely would be, okay, if this is being read to me, am I meant to be tested on this, or am I learning about it as a result or as a consequence of what it is I'm consuming? Like, I can give you quite literally this example here of me playing, like, Chaos Zero Nightmare. Because you watch me playing the game, you might pick up on things, but you don't need to know how cards work for it to be something that you can, like, I don't know, mindlessly consume in the background, right? Like, I'm playing this actively at the same time, but you don't need to understand it for it to be background noise, or for it to be something to look at in the background while I'm discussing Blue Period. And I'm not trying to teach you the mechanics of it while I'm playing it at the same time. However, Blue Period, whenever it decided that it was going to inherit some of, like, the teaching elements that it kind of has, like Bakuman does, it feels like it was trying to lean towards teaching me, the reader, about art, compared to... Oh my gosh. Thank you for the gifted sub, Silent Side. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's really sweet of you, man. You're funding my stream. Oh, you're funding it. Neighbor invited me for a beer. I gotta go. Bye. Take care, Silent Scythe, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy your cold ones with your neighbor. And I'll see you tomorrow with Resident Evil 3 Remake. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, dude. Ciao. But yeah, I feel like when it began to talk to me as a reader to try and teach me, that's like when I began to feel, and I know no one likes to hear this word. I feel like this word has kind of been ruined over the past couple of years and whatnot. But there was a little bit of cognitive dissonance whenever I was feeling spoken to as a reader in Blue Period, comparative to when it was telling me a story in the anime itself. So I need to watch the VOD of that Resident. Oh my god! Thank you so much. Thank you so much for resubscribing. 2 months? Oh my goodness. Thank you, Helios. Looky here. Resubscribe with Prime. Yahoo! That's really sweet of you guys. I really appreciate it that you guys are subscribing to the channel. It means that I'm given a fiscal motivation to do this, but also I'm always going to use the money to put it back into the channel or whatever. Whether it's games you guys want me to play, whether it's, I don't know, fun events or something. Eventually, we'll get to fun events in the future. I do have things, like, lined up way far in the future. I feel like that means you're our mama. No, it doesn't! I'm not your mom! It may be Mother's Day, but I'm not your mom! I'm gonna disown you if you keep saying things like this, you foolish child. I've taught you better. And then I'm gonna I'm gonna tell you to do the dishes, and I'm gonna tell you to do the chores, and I'm gonna make you run out and do groceries and everything like that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How dare you assume that I'm your mother now? But thank you so much for the for resubscribing. 2 whole months. You know what? What's next on my backlog? Once I have a little bit more time, because I'm still editing the batch of Devil May Cry shorts and whatnot to be posting every single day, I need to make sub badges so you guys can feel a bit more special. Also, we need more emojis and emotes in both the no, maybe not the server. Yeah, maybe the server. The server and in streams. I need you guys to be able to have more, you know? So that's what I think I'll have to do. Those are going to be on my backlog. I'm going to have to do that. I just searched for Blue Period on YouTube, and Auger stream is like the 5th on page 1. Stream is like 5th on page 1. Wait, really? Blue Period on YouTube? Whoa! That's pretty impressive. That's highly impressive, actually. That means that I am, like, super popular. Apparently, I got 1 view with an average of 6 seconds on YouTube as well. But you know what? I was thinking that at the end of every single review that I do for one of these AniManga weeks or whatever, or sorry, like, since it's bi-weekly, technically it would be a group of 2 weeks, that at the end of each one, I'd probably give some kind of like, do I recommend season 1 of whatever? Should you watch, should you read X anime / manga? And I feel like that would be a bit of a good way of doing it. Because again, I think the recommendation system is probably better than saying like a rating system, because I don't like the rating system because I don't want to be objective. This is all going to be a subjective, and therefore I only want to recommend. So that's a little bit how I feel about it. But yeah, I kind of forgot what point I was going on until Okami made this whole "you're our mama" joke again. No, I'm not. By the way, what are we gonna do about the votes? We have 2 shows tied. Yeah, so that one, there's either we're going to Foolish Wizard Mom abuses children. I'm not abusing you. Why are you posting clips of me supposedly abusing you? How dare you? Don't you dare speak out of place. You should never speak out of line. If I'm your mother, you never post clips of me like that. Never, never do that. I don't want you to post bad clips of me. How dare you? Yeah, for tied votes, we can do a couple of things. Okay? We can either do just a regular coin flip, or we can put it to the test with people currently in the stream. And what do I mean by that? I've got 2 ideas. So there's the coin flip. We can also default to me deciding. I don't really mind. I just think that's a really lame way of doing it, and I want to do something fun. We can either have just me decide, flip a coin, or we can do a poll where you guys have to vote with points between the two tied ones. Because right now it's Spice and Wolf, or it's My Dress Up Darling. And I know the people who have watched more might have an advantage for it. However, there's also one thing that I kind of want to do. I feel like... Wait, do I even have it installed? Maybe I can't do this. I want to... Votes with points? You want to vote with points? We could do that. I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be fun to do some kind of... I don't know, like, simulated PvP, like a Hunger Games thing? Like, there is the Hunger Games website or whatever, right? Maybe I was thinking I could do that, and then we can see who wins, and then the person with the winning votes or whatever is the ones whose show gets chosen. So I think that we could do, or we could gamble. How do you want... Okay, what is your preferred method of gambling in that sense? Do you want to... I mean, very simply, there is just, like, coin flips, but I feel like coin flip is a bit too shrimple. I think we can be better. We can do better. In which case, I would probably say... I do really like the Hunger Games one, where I create everyone as a vote. So if Helios survives, then it'll be Spice and Wolf. If Okami survives, then it'll be My Dress Up Darling. And then we take the people who voted, and then we see how it does, and then we can read it out. I think that would be quite fun to do. Wait, maybe I can find it. Actually, let's do a little bit of a poll. How do we resolve the tie? /poll. How do we resolve the AniManga suggestion round? I'll just say R2 round 2 tie. Let's do coin flip, simulated Hunger Games. Okay, if we gamble, we roll 3d6 for each option and the highest sum wins. That feels a lot like a Yahtzee way of doing it. What if we put all the options on a wheel like we did with the genres? We can do that. We can do that. Let's take some of the best one. Kira kira mawareru desu. Okay. We can do that. So I feel like we'll do gambling into gambling. Okay. All of the above on a wheel. Wheel. Okay. So we've got coin flip, simulated Hunger Games, and then poll points votes. Okay. We'll see what you guys think. We'll do like just a 3-minute poll. So in case you guys aren't aware, we'll do it here. So there we go. There's the 3-minute poll. I don't mind whichever. I think it's kind of funny to do gambling via gambling, where we just do the wheel to gamble which way we want to gamble. And then I think the simulated Hunger Games one is pretty funny, so I'm going to vote for that one. The poll is open on Twitch in case you guys can't see it, because I see no one's voted yet. We'll take this version of the card. But I think I want to try find some more ways that we can make this more interesting. You know, like maybe we have some kind of simulated little mini game that happens each time we have a vote and then we gamble. You know, kind of like, oh, wait, I could do something like Uma Musume. I could have like a little bit of horse racing, where every time we, oh yeah. Every time we want to vote between things, we do a little bit of a horse racing sim. Haunts gambling. Yeah, we be doing haunts gambling up in here. So I think that could be pretty good. Nice nature. Yeah, the only issue would be that I need to try find a way to simulate something like that. You know? Nice nature number 3. She would never win then. You would vote for nice nature and then you would never win. How is this gonna help you, man? Do you play Uma? I used to play a lot of Uma. I was competing in the cups and everything like that, but I felt like it was taking up so much of my time, and because I'm playing a lot of different gacha games, it was really difficult to continue. So yes, but no longer. No longer do I play Uma Musume, so I kind of don't have much. I don't have much to my Uma Musume name. It's not about winning, it's about loving nice nature. Super Creek for the win. Helios, my man! Yeah! For me, it's Super Creek and Satono Diamond. Oh, I love them both. Satono Diamond is so cute. I love Satono Diamond. She's super duper cute. Oh, this is a really good hand. Let's see. What is gonna win? Yeah, I think everyone's voting for the simulated Hunger Games one, which is completely fair. Let's do that. Hunger Games browser game. Yeah. What was it called? Hunger Games Simulator? I think that was it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so we can do this. So we have got... Let me find all of the names of everyone in the chat so I can add you all. And then I need to find which votes you made. So we've got Helios. Helios as the first one. Then we've got redeemed speak with a Jamaican accent for the next 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Oh my gosh. I don't want you to make me do that. Why? Oh man. This is extreme. I think I'm gonna get cancelled for this. I spent my points. You do it. I think that's gonna get me cancelled if I do that. I can say, if I say words in a British accent that happen to sound like Jamaican, will that still cancel me? Because I know beer can in a British accent sounds like bacon in Jamaican. beer can. You know? Beer can. Beer can. You know what I'm saying? I think I would get cancelled. No, not really, but close enough. I mean, yeah, I'll refund your points because I don't think I want to be cancelled. So you'll have to pick one of my cringe accents. I would probably say anything that is racially ambiguous would probably work, but anything that can even be slightly interpreted as racist, that could cancel me, I probably need to hold off on doing, you know? So we'll try with that. Otherwise, it looks like the Hunger Games won. So let me just open that. Be our mother for the next 5 minutes and 3 seconds? Oh my gosh. What does it mean to be your mother? Be chat's mom. Here we go. Also starting it for, what was it? 5 minutes and 3 seconds? Yeah, here you go. 5 minutes and 3 seconds. What do you want from me, my child? How am I meant to treat you as my child? Do you want to be my son? Do you want to be my daughter? What do you want to be? How am I meant to treat you? You know what? I'm feeling thirsty. Go get me a beer from the fridge. Oh wait, no, that's more of a dad thing. You know what? I'm feeling thirsty. I need you to... You know what? You make me the sandwich. Okay, maybe this is gonna get me canceled either way. Stepmom? No. No, it's a mom thing too? Really? What if I was like a wine mom, though? If I was a wine mom, then I'd tell you to go get me just a small glass of wine, and then you pull out a really big one from the pantry or the cabinet or whatever, and that way I can drink like an entire pint, you know? Stuck in the washing. No, I'm not gonna get. No. We're not playing off of this this stepmom idea. I'm not doing that for you guys. You might be my children, but I can't lift a wine bottle, mama. I'm only but 3 inches tall. You're not. I didn't raise you to be that weak. I raised you to be stronger than this. I raised you to be able to go get my wine, and yet here you are complaining about it. No. No, you don't get to decide that. I raised you better. There are starving kids in the man-eater forest in my fantasy world, and you're here complaining? Huh. Wow. Man, you're really sounding like my mom. Yeah, I didn't raise you to complain about that. Don't speak back to me. Why are you replying to me with that? How dare you? Right now, I want you to go to your room, and I want you to contemplate. In fact, no, I want to come up to your room, and I want to see it spotless. I don't want you to be dilly-dallying, not doing anything I tell you to, because you decided that you would be... what's the word for it? Come to my room? No, go to your room. I'm not gonna go to your... I'm not going to your room. You're going to your room, and you're gonna stay there, and you're gonna clean up your room, and I'm gonna go into your room, and free quiz... Stop it. Don't speak back to me. You're speaking like that to your mom. You're speaking like that to your mom. I'll have you know that I can ground you for the next, I don't know, 50 hours, if I so please. Also, who else wanted to be a part of the Hunger Games? I think it was Virgil. He was voting for, No, he was voting for My Dress Up Darling, but he voted for his own suggestion, so that doesn't work. I think Silent Scythe voted for... Wait, let's see. I need to check the votes, so I'm tabbing in and out. I'm gonna ground you, and I need my wine glass right now, but whenever I come back to your room, or whenever I go to your room, I expect it to be cleaned up. So... We'll have to see about that. I'm just going to assume that, okay, you know what? Whoever wins... No. We'll stick with this. Okay. So whoever wins will have their votes decided. So, okay, on team My Dress Up Darling, we've got Mr. Brown, Chicken Juggler, and Virgil's doesn't count. On team Spice and Wolf, we've got Helios, Neat, and Scythe. Okay. So let's add Kaya. Let's add Kaya to this. Oh, wait. I need to add a browser source for this. I'll do that. So let's see. Browser. Here we go. And then we'll take this. Here we go. Browser interact. Wait, no. I need to change which source it's taken from. Okay, here we go. Hunger Games Simulator, interact. So let's swap over here so you can see what I'm doing. We've got the characters. Oh, it's kind of changed it to like a dark mode. We've got Helios. If you can see the text, I know it's really difficult. Okami. And then we've got Mr. Brown. I don't know why it's in like inverted colors like this. Is there some way that I can increase the contrast? Filter. I've got no filters on. Maybe I can like color correct as a filter and that would help me? No. Whatever. Now I'm just overcomplicating things. Let's just go back to this. Okay, so we've got current players. We've got 3. We've got Helios. We've got Okami. We've got Mr. Brown. We want to add player 4, which would be Silent Scythe. And he uses he, him pronouns. Okay, the drag down doesn't... Oh, wait, here we go. There we go. Other... And then Mr. Brown uses he, him. Yep, he, him. Okami, she. No, you're using he, him, I think. Then we've got Kaya, who is she. I'm having to use my keyboard to find this. Who else? Virgil's vote is invalid because he voted for his own. And mine was... Well, I didn't vote for anything because I felt it would be a little bit unfair if I did, since I would be the tiebreaker. Let's see. Who else? Are we missing anyone? Helios, Neat, Scythe, and Chicken Juggler, and Mr. Brown. I think we've got everyone. I think we've got everyone for the Hunger Games. So, I'm a man. Yeah. Okay, good. Now, we see... we've got our 5 contestants. Waiting. You want to be Chicken Juggler instead? If Virgil's vote doesn't count... Yeah, because he voted for his own. We don't have a tie anymore? Oh, that's true. Wait. Yeah. Oh, it's because Scythe voted just now. I had a screenshot of what it was, but technically, Scythe voted after the stream started. So... And I'm very committed to this Hunger Games thing. Oh, an ad is about to play, by the way. Ads are about to begin. The ads are coming. The ads are coming. Let's go to the idle screen because we've got ads. Ad break. And then it's for like 3 minutes. We'll do that. We'll swap over. Here we go. It's just some ads. The reason why Virgil's vote doesn't count is because Virgil decided to break the rules by voting for his own suggestion. So for instance, I wrote in the rules and for the suggestions, you are not allowed to vote for the thing that you suggested, and he suggested My Dress Up Darling and also voted for it, unfortunately. So, blue flavor is real. It's not! It's not. All of these things have been fact-checked. All of my tips have been fact-checked. However, everything else you guys have written? No. No, it's not. You can't just add a tip and call it that, okay? That's not how it works. So, I'll be setting up the the thingamabob in the meanwhile. So we've got Helios, we've got Okami, we've got Mr. Brown, we've got Silent Scythe, and we've got Kaya, and then we've got me as well. We're gonna add me to this, Aug. And my votes will obviously be for... Well, no, I'm... Oh gosh, it's just really a tiebreaker because 5. Yeah, you know what? Let's just add all of ourselves, because it would technically be a tie if Silent Scythe hadn't voted during stream. But I will include him, and I will include Virgil to give an equal opportunity, you know? So here we go. Virgil. I'm just adding all of the names and everything while we've got our little ad break here. How was your weekend, by the way? How was everyone's weekend so far? Mine was pretty okay. I've been editing some of the shorts that I need to be pushing out for this week, and I think I've got a little bit more to have some time, but honestly, editing shorts is so difficult. It's like trying to pick out the funniest parts. I have so many rejected clips, because what I do, I think I've described my process a little bit before. What I end up doing with all of my clips is that I will watch through an entire stream, find the funniest parts, or what I think are funniest parts. Then I will cut it down, and then I will sleep on it. I will wait like a day or two, and I will come back and I will watch everything in its like cut down form content, and I will think to myself, is this actually any good? And if I giggle, if I go, hoo, that's pretty silly, then I will include it. Then that will become a short for that week. Otherwise, if I don't think it's silly enough, then I don't even bother including it. Pretty good. My 7 days vacation starts now. Your 7 days vacation? Sounds pretty nice. Pretty nice. Have you decided how you want to spend your 7 days vacation? Or have you not got anything in particular in mind for it? I think... if I were to have a 7-day vacation, I would be editing my shorts. I think I'm gonna add that to my backlog. I need to both make more shorts and whatnot, and then make a... what's it called? Emojis / emotes and subscriber badges for Twitch channel. Also Discord server. And those are some of the things that I would work on. On Monday, why didn't my message send? I don't know. Mr. Brown, also EU, maybe Germany? Gulp. He's also in EU or Germany? Also German of E? Perhaps. Let's swap back to the main display. So here we go. We've got a little bit of the Hunger Games thing going on. Now, let's see. Let's actually extend this a little bit as well. Can I resize this? No. Okay, I've decided that this is just going to be the browser width and size. Interact. Here we go. We've got Virgil. We've got me. We've got Kaya. We've got Mr. Brown. We've got Silent Scythe. We've got Okami. And we've got Helios. To resolve our tiebreaker, we are going to be playing the Hunger Games. So how do we play this? Well, it's all automatically played, so it is technically gambling, but with a lot of flavor text and everything. But I'll quickly read out what you said. Though have to stress tomorrow with going to one city and then another city about some house documents to get my blood drawn for a doctor's checkup. But after all that, it's Mickey D's. McDonald's time. Oh, yeah. Dude, what are you gonna get from McDonald's? I actually gotta say, I really like McDonald's. I don't eat it often, but when I do, it's... oh, gosh. I really like some fat. I like chicken nuggets, okay? I like my tendies. I like my chicken nuggets so much more. No McDonald's, I'm near you. Country neighbors. Okay. Wait, Solsticks, do you want to join? Who do you or what do you vote for? So I know beforehand. Where did I put the browser? Here we go. Let's add Solsticks. You can be our random variable here. So let's check how you spell your name. Oop. Let me see. Solsticks. Here we go. And then we'll do he, I assume. And then we do he for virtual as well. I think that's it. When I go to Mickey D's, I get 20 chicken McNuggets, a Philly beef stack, and a McChicken classic. Oh my gosh. Helios, I feel like you and I are so similar in some ways. I do the exact... Well, I don't get the beef stack, but I do get a McChicken. So either I have like 2 defaults that I go to. I go to either a 20 I go for a 20 chicken McNuggets or McChicken nuggets with a McChicken hamburger. Or I go for like 4 or 5 McChickens. Oh my gosh. I love McChickens. They're so good. A burger from a special menu where they take foods from different countries and make them here. A Canadian maple barbecue bacon burger with beef patty was very good last time I tried it. I've never heard of a, no, I think they offered it, but I never tried the Canadian maple barbecue bacon burger. I never tried that one. Though I've always liked the idea of syrups and whatnot on, just because I really like sweet stuff. Dip of choice is sweet and sour sauce. Sweet and sour sauce is always a good choice. I think I would probably go for truffle mayo. Truffle mayo is nearly always the one that I go for. I always get the 20 McNuggets and the McChicken. Gosh, yes, yes. Also, if Solstix wins, we'll just have to we'll just have to hear from him if he does. Otherwise, let's see. Hunger Games. Virgil kills Helios with his own weapon immediately. Okay, jeez. Farewell, Helios. Looks like things are already becoming tense. Silent Scythe runs away with a lighter and some rope. Yeah, honestly, everyone chose the exact same things. Okay, what happens to me? Grabs a backpack. Oh, it's empty. Mother confirmed. Oh, wait, I forgot to remove the timer and everything. Oh, whoops. Oh, what's happening between Kaya and Mr. Brown? Kaya finds Mr. Brown hiding in the cornucopia and kills him. Okami Whoa! That's nuts! Okami, how dare you do that to Solstix? He barely did anything! He didn't even give it his votes. He was like a neutral party in all of this, and you just removed him. Kaya just like decided to eliminate Mr. Brown, however. My goodness. Yeah, Solstix. Man, day 1 over. So, Okami searches for a new water source. Silent Scythe and Kaya. Oh, all 4 of us. Silent Scythe and Kaya fights Auger and Virgil. Two foes work together. Silent Scythe. What? I'm dead? Oh my gosh! What? But I also voted for Spice. Why me? We should have just gotten rid of. Oh my gosh! Thank you, Solstix, for the gifted sub to Okami Lumi. Whoa! Thank you. We will win the 2v1. Let's see. Kaya, Silent Scythe, and Okami. They discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Wait, you guys just aren't ending each other. The Fallen? Yeah, Mr. Brown, dead. Helios, dead. Solstix, dead. Og, dead. That's me! Oh my gosh. Virgil, dead. Goodness gracious. Grazie. Okami stole my wallet off my corpse. Yeah, he's just decided to redeem one of the subs from you. Oh my gosh. I can't believe he'd do that. Okami, you have some explaining to do with all that. And I'd do it again. How dare you, man? How dare you? Okami receives some fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Silent Scythe is unable to convince Kaya to not kill him. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, wait. That means Okami destroys Kaya's supplies? We're literally at the last part. You can't be doing this. How? Okay, silence. Why? Why did we, like, we were how many people? How many people? My inner, oh my gosh. Sponsored my B. Yeah. I can't believe you guys are treating this, or treating our teams like this. What? It was like, I think all of the Spice and Wolf enjoyers just ganged up on each other and just ended things there. Day 3, Kaya Okami. Kaya steals from Okami. Okay. Night 3. Kaya tries to sing herself to sleep. Okami, he screams for help. Kia! That's what he sounds like. That's exactly what he sounds like. No one died that day. And the feast, what happens? Kaya stabs Okami in the back with a trident. Dang, you just got turned into the feast. I would not scream like that. You would. You would. I'm the narrator here. You would go, Kia, stop it, Kaya-chan. Don't do this. Kia. And now, you got stabbed in the back with a trident. That's it. The Fallen, one cannon shot is heard in the distance. Okami has died. The games have ended. Kaya's vote wins. That means we will be reading / watching Spice and Wolf. Thank you so much for participating. Esto apesta. No, thank you for participating. We will be watching Spice and Wolf, or reading Spice and Wolf. Sleeper agent activated by barbecue bacon burger. Barbecue bacon burger. Barbecue bacon burger. True. True. It is one of my, like, trigger words. Wow. I finally get to I get to finally watch Spice and Wolf after so long. So true. We all had to give our power to Kaya for her to win. To be fair, she decided to, like, kill all of us to take the win for herself. That was really selfish of her. I don't know about that one. Kaya lamentada el día. Yeah, mission successful. Yeah, I mean, our team technically won, Helios. We did. Who killed me again? Wait, let me see. Can we go back? Does it show me like a history? Okay, here we go. Virgil killed you. He took your weapon and killed you with it. My god, stop, it's making me giggle. Barbecue bacon burger is making you giggle. Barbecue bacon burger is making you giggle. Making you laugh and rub your belly. Okami, what are you doing to him? What are you doing to Mr. Brown while he's vulnerable and giggling to himself like that? Yeah, what on earth? Exactly. I think you've got a bit of a feud going on here, however, Helios. Virgil doesn't seem to like you. Also, Kaya just like 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, Kaya got 4 kills. Oh my gosh. No, he's rubbing his own belly? That's not what you said. Making you laugh and rubbing your belly. Yeah, exactly. You can try to shrug that one off, but we know what you were meaning. Kaya MVP. 4 kills out of the 6 participants is kind of nuts. That is very murder hungry. Oh my goodness. Yep. Well, there we go. Wait, 5 kills? Oh, because it counts 2 of them. I was just assuming like, oh, it would count 1. Yeah. Okay, Kaya 5 kills. Out of the yeah. Oh gosh. What a murderer. We've got Virgil with 1 kill. I got nothing and I died on the first day. Silent Scythe, he did get 2 kills and he survived a little bit longer. Okami survived the longest, besides Kaya. Only got 1 kill though. Well, unfortunate as it is, so do you recommend the manga or anime? I've not read the manga, so I will have to recommend the anime just because I really like all of the soundtrack and I really like just the whole style of everything. I love Spice and Wolf. It's been ages since I've watched it because this was, oh gosh, I think this is nearly 20 years ago that I watched this. I think it might be. I think I watched it in 2009. Like, once it finished? So, yeah. But then when do we get the second season? Oh, maybe it's even earlier? Season 1? I think I may have binge-watched everything together. I don't watch Slice of Life, Auger 2026. Okay, but Spice and Wolf is different. It's a cute monster girl. It's a cute wolf girl. And she's just like, I'm the wisest wolf. We love Hollow the wisest wolf. She really is the wisest wolf for a good reason, okay? Also, Auger, I love Spice and Wolf. Yes, okay. Anything with monster girls is like an exception to me. That's exactly why I'm able to watch like Monster Musume multiple times and still feel happy about it. Okay, I just realized that Mr. Brown has a held message that I'm gonna send in the Hall of Shame. So, here we go. We'll grab that. Yoink. Capitalism. It is. You were paying for votes and everything. So, we will see if she really is wise. She is wise. I think this will be good for me to watch before work and after work. Spice and Wolf is a crazy good show. Plus, technically, Hollow the Wisest of Wolves is also a VTuber, though she streams like once a month or something like that with her official VA. I think there's a whole bunch of like extra material. There's a game for her, like multiple games actually, and there are a VR game, a regular game, a visual novel, I think there are some drama CDs and some ASMRs and whatnot. Why Wall of Shame? Look at what I posted. I hope it can help me de-stress. I hope so. I hope so too. Hall of Shame Doko. It's in the same channel as the Hall of Fame Hall of Shame. Okami should be the one for saying that. I didn't do nothing. Yeah, unfortunately, I have the message that was held by you. So I'm sending that one in the Hall of Shame. You should choose your words more carefully before I take a screenshot and send them out of context. That's your own problem. Nat 20, by the way. Either way, I think Spice and Wolf will be really good. It's been on my backlog to rewatch it because it's been nearly 20 years since I last watched it, and oh my gosh, I think maybe I want to read it as well because there's just so much good. I think she's so cute. I think she's so cute. What are you guys saying now on the server? It's Okami's fault. He should be there for that, not me. I was stating a fact. No, you were begging him to not do that. You were begging him, and it was held because of that. So I don't like this attitude. As your supposed mother for Mother's Day, I don't like this. I don't like this behavior. I'm gonna have to ground you for this if you keep acting up like this, Mr. Brown. So better not test me. Better not test me. Wait. Why is there no way in this to, like, review my deck before I choose which epiphany I want to go for? I'm not the one saying you're a mom, so... Yeah, well, I think I was elected mother for today. Finally owing up to being our mom. It's kind of like how Virgil only chooses to be a good dad whenever it most benefits him. I think the exact same thing is happening here, right? So I'm only beginning to take responsibility now that it benefits me. Okay, maybe we take this one because it's basically free damage. I love free damage. Who doesn't love free damage? Also, let's check my deck to see if I actually need more blades. So we've got one, two, okay, yeah, we've got plenty. I think I need to change the epiphany on this one, however. Yeah. Otherwise, I really hope you guys enjoy Spice and Wolf, and we're going to keep the same pace. I think this pace is pretty good. It's at least good for me because I can watch an episode once a day, and that means it's like pretty reasonable for me. I think I really like the pace of having one a day. Oh my gosh, really? Okay, this is one of the things I've got to admit I really do not like about the epiphanies in the sortie. Why does it keep the exact epiphany whenever I get a divine one? I do not want this stupid epiphany on my card. Oh my goodness. On draw through a card, 30+% damage amount for one turn. I'm not gonna do that. Otherwise, maybe we decide on it next week. But I'm thinking that already we should begin to decide what next category or genre we should have for the next pick, for the next suggestions. I don't know, I like to be on top of things, right? So maybe it's a little bit preemptive right now, maybe it isn't, but oh well. Oh well. Is it against the rules if I watch more than whatever number of episodes we have to watch these next 7 days? 7 days. Yeah. It's not cheating. I don't think so anyway, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm more so just saying that, like, if you want to, feel free to. But we will only be discussing the first 7 episodes, so please just make sure that you are not spoiling anything for everyone else, and we will be A-okay. So it's not a game. Yeah, exactly. Agreed with what Helios is saying. Just make sure that you're not spoiling anything as you go about it, and we should be A-okay. So I don't mind, and if you really want to, actually, I would be quite happy to, because I'll probably want to watch or rewatch everything anyway. Maybe I'll go through both seasons, but that depends on how much enjoyment we get out of it. Unfortunately, Blue Period didn't have a continuation of it, so that means, or that is why we didn't have a vote for whether or not we wanted to continue it. But because this one does have a second season, we can then decide together, is it something that we want to watch, continue watching the second season of, so we do a full month, or is it something that we only want to watch, like, the one first season of instead? So at any points you feel like, okay, actually I want to continue or I want to stop, then we can have a vote for that. I'm just trying to internally or mentally work out, like, some of the scheduling for it. So I think either way, it probably works out that we can maybe do a roulette this time and then discuss a bit about it. Yeah, the manga goes on, but the anime didn't get a season 2, unfortunately. Yeah, for Blue Period. Yeah, for Blue Period. I was a little bit confused if you were meaning Spice and Wolf, because I'm like, actually, I watched the season 2 for Spice and Wolf. But no, you meant Blue Period, which makes sense. Either way, I think it's unfortunate in that case, but yeah. We'll just have to see, I suppose. With okay, we'll discard that one. We'll just have to see whenever it comes to longer running shows or series what it is we do, but I think, or at least I hope, you guys enjoy Spice and Wolf enough to want to continue watching it through season 2. Because it is one of the few that I actually really, really enjoy. And I know it's a little bit cheesy to say, but it is mostly because, gosh, it's such a cute story. So let's do the wheel for next genre next Sunday, or do we want to decide today? I think we... Yeah, that's what I'm kind of mentally processing, or working out. What do you guys think? Because if we do a vote today for it, then we can kind of think on, like, what genre, or at least have an idea of what to find. So I think that gives us time to look for things. If we do today, we could have... Yeah, Dude, you're reading my mind. I was just talking about that. You're reading my mind. Oh my goodness. I was like, yeah, we could probably do that because it gives people more time. And you're like, I think we do it because it's a longer period for people to suggest or vote. Yes, exactly. So what I wanted to do was, if we do it today, then we have like 1 week where we can suggest, then 1 full week where we can vote, and one of the options on the final vote is whether or not we continue over to season 2 of Spice and Wolf, and then we just carry everything over, and that like gives even more time if we so choose. So I think we do that. Also, we could have people who aren't here today to participate. Yeah, I think so as well. Let me open up the browser again. Honestly, I need a bookmark. Page with spin the wheel online. Here we go. Yeah, let's vote now. I agree. Okay, here we go. Picker wheel, and we'll... You know what? This will just be renamed, I think. We'll rename this source so that I can keep the Hunger Games one, because I think that's quite funny. Hunger Games. Okay. Oh, we don't vote. We use the wheel. Yeah. We're gonna use the wheel. The veal? We're going to use the veal. Pere the platypus. We're going to use the veal. Okay. For some reason, I began thinking of nuggets and began typing nuggets instead of writing down wheel from my browser source. So let's do this. Check that. Refresh for page. Here we go. No, hide the Hunger Games. Bye-bye. And now we... drag this one. Pere the platypus. Pere the platypus. Lol, nuggets. Dude, I love nuggets, okay? I mean, they're just delicious, right? We were just talking about this, so I feel like it makes sense. Okay? Oh my goodness. Here we go. So we've got our wheel here. Wait, can I not zoom out whenever I'm using the browser source? Is there a way to do that? Let's change the width maybe to like 1200 by 800 instead. So I like spicy nuggets more than the basic ones. Why do you like spicy ones? I feel like, you know, you have just default nuggets, and default nuggets are good enough, and I'm just like quite pleased, quite chuffed with having regular nuggets. So I don't need anything else, you know? I think I'm good. Oh wait, even oh my gosh. Okay. So, let's transition this over so now you guys can see. I love spicy foods. Yeah, but like spicy nuggets, I don't know. I feel like you could get karaage, like Korean chicken and whatnot instead, you know? I prefer Korean fried chicken over any other form of chicken, but I think it's too expensive and unhealthy to have every day. Dude, I love Korean fried chicken. It's so good. It's so good. Oh my gosh, maybe I need to post like food pictures or something one day of like, because once I was ordering and I didn't know what a full portion was. So I was just like, oh, you know what? I'll just take a full portion. It was an entire chicken. It was like a full kilo. It was like 2 kilos or 3 kilos or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, that was so good. No, I haven't removed it. Here it is. I was busy talking at the exact same time. I was busy talking at the exact same time as I was going on about my my love for Korean fried chicken. So don't mind that. I'm not gonna answer that, Okami. So don't bother. Okay. I think that's everything. We're not gonna add slice of life. I feel like we need to go through every genre at least once, right? So I think this is a pretty good one. However, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. How do we do it? Spin. What do you guys think it's gonna be? What do you guys hope it's gonna be? I want to hear your thoughts. No, no, that's not a welcome that I want you to have, Kirigami. I mean, there's going to be overlap anyway. Yeah, exactly. I want to at least touch upon every single genre at least once, right? So I want to make sure that we've gone through everything for our whatchamacallit, our genre wheel. Also, welcome, Kirigami. We're just doing our AniManga Club voting, and we had our discussion already, like, for the past hour ago or so. So let's see. Helios wants drama. Mr. Brown wants comedy. Okami wants sports. I don't want it. I'm gonna rig it anyway. No, don't. Okay. Let's see. I'm hoping we get isekai. I want revenge. I don't think that's a genre. Let's see. What do we get? What do we get? It's gonna be... No. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, when Helios said drama, I thought it was gonna hit drama. How? You were so close to getting drama. But it is superhero. It is superhero. You were one off, dude. You were one off from getting it. Mal... You rigged wrong. You got your trajectory off by a single degree, and now instead we got superhero instead of drama, man. If anyone suggests My Hero Academia, Boku no Hero Academia, I'm skinning you. I don't think any of us are gonna recommend that. I think you're fine here. But that will be decided then. So keep in mind that the AniManga suggestions will open up for this week. Round 3, I'll make a post after the stream where you will get to submit one superhero oriented or themed anime/manga then. Zeus! Is that how you face me, you coward? I think it is. I think it is. I'm here on my podium, and you're there. Even if it gets recommended, no one will vote for it. Superhero? Yeah, exactly. Dog Ningen? We're not doing that one. Where do you submit? Okay, so quick rundown of how to do this for people who are unfamiliar is you go to the Discord server, and you can do !Discord. Here we go. Never mind. Oh, no, there it is. There it is. My bot's working. My bot's working. You can do !Discord, and that's the Discord server that you can join via through. Once you're in there, there will be a section for roles where you can select to join the AniManga Club, and that gives you access to the forums and whatnot. And via the forums, I will create a thread which will say something like third round voting or third round suggestions. So that will be where you get to vote and everything on it. And also, as Mr. Brown said, welcome, Kosan. How have you been? How have you been? Did you perhaps watch or read any of Blue Period? Why are you giving me that frowny disgust face, Kirigami? I've not done anything. I've not done anything wrong here. I've just been, oh my gosh, 2 Anibia cards. Here we go, at the start of the battle. Acquire a Fate. Oh, my goodness. I think, oh, wait, this is crazy good. I think it's going to be interesting to see, because I gotta admit, I don't read or watch a lot of, like, superhero stuff at all. So it's gonna be interesting to see what you guys suggest. I feel like One Punch Man is usually the go-to, so I haven't watched it. Oops, so sorry, Wizard-san. It's okay. It's okay. People who don't want to watch whatever's on rotation for that week is perfectly fine. It's more so I just want to make sure that everyone has had a chance to and whatnot to partake or participate
in some of the decisions or choices.
So, Og, if I suggest Chohiro Densetsu, do we watch Bakuman? I mean, okay, actually, I'm curious if anime... Whoa, where'd my cursor go? I can't find my cursor. It's not showing up on Brave. There. Wait, no, there we go. Okay, so my anime list. And for those who are unfamiliar with how the suggestions work, you have to go to my anime list, but I need to check that the superhero genre actually exists. So let's just take Boku no Hero, because that's the entire thing. Let's see. Does it have a superhero genre to it? Okay, it does. Superpower is what it's called. So you have to find something in either my anime list or novel updates or whatever that has both a manga and an anime, and you need to have the superpower category to it. So if, in that case, Chohiro Densetsu has that, then go right for it, I suppose. At least, I don't think I've watched that one. I think maybe. Does it have superpower on it? It doesn't. It doesn't have that. Uh-oh. Well, the rules is that it has to list superhero on my... Yeah, exactly. So, One Punch Man... Wait, it doesn't have the superpowers genre? Wait, One Punch Man. Let's check. One Punch Man first season. Does it have the superpowers tag to it? It does. You have to go by the superpower tag. Superpower is whatever they call superhero, or East and West, and so on. And if you go by the superpower tag, you can... Oh, wait, no, that's actually really misleading. Oh, superhero. Superpower and superhero are not exactly the same. Also, welcome, D6. How are you doing? We were just talking about Blue Period and everything earlier. Superhero anime. Wait, how are we gonna do this now? I think, there aren't actually a whole lot. Let's see. Maybe there's some kind of way. Did you get her partner pulled? No, I haven't pulled her partner. I only care about the actual banner unit. I feel like the partners for Chaos Hero Nightmare, like for the 5-star units, they're not really worth it. They had a buff for them recently, but it's not usually worth it. So there isn't... Okay, we might have to go based off of the superpower tag rather than the superhero tag. I think that might be easier because for whatever reason, I'm looking at what Google recommends or suggests as being a superhero show, and they say both Mob Psycho 100, which is amazing, mind you, but unfortunate. It doesn't really seem like it is a superhero one. Then we've got Dragon Ball Super. That's not a superhero show. That doesn't really count. I've heard of Tiger and Bunny, but I don't actually know the premise to it. Let's see. Superheroes daring acts are broadcast to the Hero TV. Oh, okay. Actually, Tiger and Bunny sounds like one of the better suggestions here. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I can't stay long. Oh, no worries, man. Just, I hope your doctor's appointment goes well. Tomorrow is the release of regular show new season. Oh, I see. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not really sure what other shows there are to this. Okay, Anime Planet tag superheroes. Yeah, I found this list. Yeah, maybe we need to use this one because my anime list doesn't have superheroes as a tag. Oh gosh. Oh wait, no. That's fine. I was like, wait, there's only one page? No, there's more. I've heard that Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider is really good, actually. But there are a bunch. Loser Ranger has also been on my my backlog and whatnot. So yeah, we'll use that one. I'll suggest this as a link whenever we're going through it. Thanks, thank you, Helios. It's a normal checkup. Oh, good. I was a bit worried that maybe something had happened, but nonetheless, I hope it goes well and that you don't find out that anything might be wrong, you know? I wish the best for you, D6. I hope it goes well, even if it is just a regular checkup. No one wants to find out that they have any kind of deficiency of anything. I feel like maybe I'm a little bit overly paranoid or whatever, But I always like to take supplements nonetheless, just because I feel like it's good to take supplements when I don't necessarily get everything I need from any particular diets. Like, I know magnesium is good to have, so I like to have excess of that. I like to have zinc. I like to have creatine. I like to have glutamine, etc. I take a lot, just because I really like being healthy. So I already know what I'm recommending. I'm really excited to see what you guys recommend for this, because I feel like the superhero genre, whenever it comes to anime and manga, is kind of underutilized, isn't it? It's like not really done that often. At least I've not seen a whole lot of it. Not a whole lot of it used anyway. So who knows? Maybe we'll get some good suggestions and I'll change my mind on the whole superhero category or genre. Do we all agree that Mahou Shoujo counts as superheroes? Ooh, that's a really good question. I kind of agree. I think that Mahou Shoujo is superheroes because they have like an outfit that they wear. They fight evil. They have costumes. They have taglines, and etc. So yeah, I would say so personally. Your cat Deku voice is doing numbers. It's not doing numbers. You're lying to me. D6, do not say that's doing numbers. I can see the stats and analytics right now. That video is really bad performing. It does have a lot of views, like, or well, comparatively a lot of views, but I think that's natural for the increase in, like, amounts of audience that I have. So, let's see. What about Go-Go Power Rangers? That's like our childhood superhero. Is Go-Go Power Heroes animated? Go-Go Power Hero... Power Rangers. Why did I say Power Heroes? Power Rangers. That one's the live-action form of it, right? In which case, I don't think that qualifies, because it needs a manga and it needs an anime version for it. I'm gonna go with Madoka Magica then. Let's do a poll first, because I want to see what everyone's opinions on this is. Does Mahou Shoujo count as superhero? I'm very curious to see what you guys think. Yes, no, and we'll do... No, I'm not going to allow you to do additional votes. No additional votes for this, and it's going to be 10 minutes. What do you guys think? I think it counts. And I would love to hear your reasons why, if you think no. Because I think there are a lot of similarities between whether or not you do Mahou Shoujo and superhero. Like, you've got the costumes, the outfits, you've got, like, them fighting evil, like, stereotypically evil bad guys. You've got them announcing, like, power names whenever they're attacking, and you've got, like, transformations due to the outfits and everything. I feel like, yeah, it is very much, okay, I don't die here, I don't think. No, okay, cool. I think it counts: transformation, costumes, fighting evil. Yeah, exactly, and the power of friendship as well. So it works out. It works out perfectly, in fact. It's literally the shoujo version of Kamen Rider. Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? I think it's funny, all things considered. Also, I really don't like high difficulty sortie. It's so difficult. It's really, really difficult. Oh, wait. Oh, have you found something? Or why do you say to wait? I might go with Doremi. Oh, dude, Doremi is such a blast to the past. Or a blast from the past? Yeah, blasting from the pasting. Man, that is old. I remember that. I remember that because I used to see really silly jokes and memes about it on 2chan. Any one of you all watched Gushing Over Magical Girls? No, I don't think I have. Wait. Gushing Over Magical Girls. Let's see. No, I've not heard of this. Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider. That was one on my backlog as well, Okami. I feel like there's a lot of, like... maybe it's just because they're very standout. Maybe it's just that they're very standout, and that's why I think it. Oh, I've seen one of the girls from this, from Gushing Over Magical Girls. Putting on the list. It's gotta count. It does. It does count. So no worries about that. Absolutely counts, I think. If it doesn't count, then I don't know. I don't know. Also, the poll is up, guys. You can vote for whether or not you consider Mahou Shoujo. counts as a superhero. Where do you seen here? What? We can't do ecchi, right? No, you cannot pick ecchi. Just because I don't want to recommend something like that and then have people tell me I can't watch this because of ecchi, so. My first ever harem anime was Rosario plus Vampire. Oh my gosh. I was trying to recommend that, but I realized that the anime version has so much ecchi in it, so I didn't end up suggesting it as a result. That's kind of why. I was wanting to at some point, but I didn't otherwise. Okami, you can wait. I'm gonna open up the thread or the third round suggestions after stream, so you don't have to post that in general chat. Fight Ipatsu Juden-chan. Which one is that? Wait, let me see. Maybe I recognize it whenever I see a picture. Nope, I've never heard of this. I don't know what this is. Well, wait, one of you voted no? One of you voted that you don't think Maho Shoujo counts as superhero? How come? How come? Why is that? That is ecchi AF. Yeah, Rosario X Vampire was very, very ecchi. I was thinking the manga more so. Ugh. Maybe if you finish Resident Evil 3 next stream, you can play the demo of Resident Evil 4. I have Resident Evil 4, just not the original one. So we'll have to kind of see about that. I was thinking if I do finish it earlier, either I would do some kind of challenge or I would do something else for the rest of the stream, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it in time exactly. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Do you know about 106? 106. It kind of rings a bell, but I don't really know. No, what is that? No, I mean Juden-chan. Oh, okay, okay. My bad, my bad. The poll was a trap. If you disagree, you get skinned alive and boiled in hot tar. I am not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm doing. It's not a trick question, but I am very curious to know why you don't think, what's it called? Why you don't think Maho Shoujo counts as superhero. I would be very curious to figure out why that's the case. So 106 is from the anime reference? No. I'm not aware. The remake also has a demo? Yeah, I have Resident Evil 4, the full remake downloaded already, so that's not an issue. 106. Wait, are you meaning Danganronpa? Yeehaw, Danganronpa. Where he's actually trying to write Leon? The list posted isn't too good. IMO shows like Saint Seiya should be on it too. Yeah, actually, I think so. I think so. Isn't there also maybe wait, is Sailor Moon on it as well? No, not that anime. Then I'm unsure. Then I'm very unsure. Also, I think I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna get rid of my sword bearing stuff. No, otherwise I'm not entirely sure what you mean by 106 then. In that case, wait, maybe let's Google anime 106. Let's see. No, I'm not finding anything. I'm finding Naruto references. Bro, I'm talking about Tsunade. Yeah, but what does 106 have to do with Tsunade? I've watched Naruto. Well, I never finished Shippuden, but I did watch Naruto. Just it was very, very, very long ago, and that's it. Oh, it's in reference to that. Oh. Uh-huh. Now I understand. Okay. Cool. Yep. Nice. Thanks, guys. Now I know. And technically, even Harem Slop like Infinite Stratos could be on it too. Yeah, maybe. Does that really count though? Isn't Infinite Stratos more of like... Isn't that more mecha, or am I thinking of something else? Because I think Sekirei and... what was it? A couple of other ones technically counted as superhero whenever I was checking through the list, which seemed very weird. Infinite Stratos? Would Horizon in the Middle of Nowhere count as superhero then? I don't know if I necessarily feel like anything mecha constitutes as being close to or I know it's not mecha, but like sci-fi related being more superhero than it is sci-fi. I'm not entirely sure. It's her circumference. Yeah. Akikan? What's Akikan? I'm not sure of this one now. Let's see. Google this one. Anime. Is Chainsaw Man a superhero movie or a superhero show? No. No, because they don't really announce their moves or whatever, but they also don't fight like objectively evil, and they don't wear funny get-ups, because I feel like you have to qualify those things, otherwise Jujutsu Kaisen would also qualify, right? So, yeah. I think you would have to exclude those. Chat, if you really... No. High School of the Dead? No. We're not doing that. Absolutely not. That one is, yeah, that one's in its own league. So, drink cans transforming girls into fight evil? While I kind of understand at the same time, maybe we don't do some of these suggestions, you know? Guys, please. We're picking superhero. We're not picking like the next ecchi anime to all watch together as one big happy family, you know? We're trying to decide together. I still don't know which one of you voted no for whether or not Mahou Shoujo counts as, what's it called? As superhero. I need to know who of you did that. I need to know. Come out right now. Kishida Kyodan and the Akeboshi Rockets is a goated band. I've never seen High School of the Dead, but that opening introduced me to Peak. Gosh, right? The opening is so ridiculously good. I love the opening to High School of the Dead. It is so good. In fact, just that entire band is crazy good. My goodness. My goodness, what a good band. Oh, we can get rid of you. Bing bong, bing bong. Fact. Group. No, we're not doing a group session like that. They do not miss. Dude, they also, I don't know. Wait, let me double check. Let me open up my playlist. I need to double check so that I'm not lying to you guys, because I always fact check myself. Gates. Oh yeah, Gates as well. They did the gate opening. The gate opening is also great. If you haven't watched it, okay, yeah, Kishido Kyodan and the Akeboshi Rockets. Wait, how does this translate into English? A wild high-level boss has appeared. I think this is what this translates to in English. They also made the opening for that one, and it is so good. It is so good. I really love that opening as well. Did you finish the Devil May Cry animated series? I think I got to episode 7, and then I began watching Blue Period for my lunchtimes instead. So I never finished it. But yeah, I have watched a bit of it. Are you talking about Mahou Shoujo or Mahou Shoujo site? Just Mahou Shoujo in general. For superhero, not Mahou Shoujo sites. That one's way different. That one's definitely not superhero, because that one's just a whole bunch of girls killing each other, which is very different. Inuyashiki also fits. Really? Wait. Maybe would we kind of consider Ajin as fitting then as well for something like superhero? Yeah, magical girls as a whole. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, we're, this is kind of gonna be a bit bad. I'm gonna take a lot of damage just in general here. We're gonna take this. We're gonna do this. Welp, Mahou Shoujo ain't on the superhero tag. Really? I feel like it should be. It feels like it's a given that it's technically superhero, because it has so many elements of the genre. If anything, it feels very like inspired by the superhero genre. Am I wrong about that? What are the origins of it? Because I feel like maybe modern interpretations are inspired by. Am I wrong? Maybe, but I'd be willing to guess on it. It's giving more Barbie vibes. More Barbie vibes. I don't know. Pretty sure Pretty Cure is a Mahou Shoujo show that is on the superhero tag. Very strange that then other Mahou Shoujo ones aren't on the tag, because that feels like it would have been a bit of a given, maybe. So I'm not entirely sure. So other Mahou Shoujo should fit it too. I agree. I think that should be the case, you know? But apparently it's not, so who knows? Maybe I should change to Pretty Cure. Honestly, I wouldn't mind watching Pretty Cure because I feel like maybe I could use it. Could use it to my advantage. Having some knowledge of Pretty Cure, aka an anime show about pretty girls. Nah, that would ruin my mysterious cool guy image. Are you joking? Weren't you calling me mom earlier? Didn't you prompt me to call me mom earlier? Weren't you rubbing Mr. Brown's belly while he was giggling earlier as well? What do you mean that's going to ruin my mysterious cool guy image? You've never had that. You've never had this mysterious cool guy image. What about Bleach? Is that considered superhero? Oh. Is Bleach considered superhero? Oh gosh. They transform, they announce weapon names, they fight technically objective evil. They also have a bunch of superpowers and abilities, and it is shonen. Huh. Yeah, that would pull nearly all of shonen into question. I would maybe say it's not traditionally superhero. I feel like if you were asking that genuinely to try and suggest Bleach, I would say yes, but is it superhero? No. Because I think the Soul Reapers aren't publicly known figures as they would be with, like, proper superheroes, you know? So I feel like maybe there's an exception to that. Like, maybe? I don't know. It's a good question, though. It's a good question because it does have a lot of transformations. It does have a lot of power names. It does have, like, a lot of superhero-ish-esque moments where it's trying to save the day and so on. But yeah, it does also make the shonen genre really difficult to define of whether or not it is very largely superhero or not. So I can kind of see that. But only Ichigo transforms. Well, he's one of the few to transform a lot, but everyone who has a hollow form becomes a little bit questionable of whether or not they fit into the superhero category. What about One Piece? No. One Piece, I don't think. I don't think they count. All of the other Shinigami don't. We've got... Wait, we've got all of the half-hollow guys from that whole Captain Division. Those people would be able to transform, and I feel like maybe you could argue with Bankai, but yeah, I think traditionally they don't really do something similar enough to that, so I would probably say Bleach doesn't count. Like, if you were trying, as said, if you were trying to suggest it in a way that was like, oh, I want to be able to recommend Bleach, then I could probably see that, but as for, like, whether or not it fits into the superhero category, no, I would have to hear a very strong argument. Kekai Sensen, that one is there too. Wait, really? Kekai Sensen is apparently considered superhero? Huh. Okay, that's very curious. What about Demon Slayer? No. I don't think that's superhero whatsoever. I think that's more... I think that's still very shonen, so I don't know about that. Kekai Sensen was peak. I need to get back on that. How many seasons did they release of that? Did they release 3 and then they just didn't release anything more about it? I'm trying to recall, because I remember really enjoying that because I absolutely loved the eye ability. And just in case no one knows, I don't want to like spoil what Leo's ability is, but I really liked Blood Blockade Battlefront as well. Let's see. Muno no Nana also X. Bump of Chicken is so goated. They really are. They keep producing like mad good songs, dude. So good, so good. Apparently Darker Than Black is also considered superhero by some. Okay, that one I can actually see. Yeah, that one kind of makes sense, but also at the same time, I feel like it's such a... Ooh. They're kind of murderers by contract, though, but I guess you could say that if the boys qualifies as superhero, then this probably does as well. Oh gosh. There's so many ones that are difficult. The Darker Than Black second part was so buns. The first season was incredibly good. I just really like Darker Than Black in general. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure if Darker Than Black as a superhero show? Gosh. I would kind of want to argue no. That's the thing, though. I feel like it probably isn't, right? April was so bad. Okay, man. Okay, man. Codebreaker, Bungo Stray Dogs, and Hamatora, to name a few. I don't know if I'd say Bungo Stray Dogs. I tried watching that not too long ago because I was lost on it. Like, the first time I tried watching it, I didn't entirely enjoy it. And then I tried watching it, and I don't know if I'd consider it superhero in the same way, because it is like a superpowered person agency, but then would you consider like minor Esper abilities to be at the level of like superpowers, and would you then call them superheroes for Espers having abilities? Because then how would you quantify Mob Psycho? Do you consider Mob Psycho to be a superhero one? Bungo Stray Dogs feels like a stretch. Yeah, that's what I think as well, because if you're beginning to include that one, then every single, like, Esper ability begins to feel like even a certain scientific railgun begins to, or like, yeah, a certain scientific railgun and a certain magical index, like, the entire Toaru universe begins to feel a bit like it's, superhero in that case, which I don't really feel like it is. Plus, wouldn't you then consider the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya because they're Esper abilities, or Psyche K? I mean, we could all say Psyche K as well. Exactly, exactly. We could have said that. Apparently, Mob Psycho 100 is considered superhero. That's one part that I don't necessarily agree with. I think that doesn't really make sense to include it in there. I mean, yeah, Mob is a superhero of his own, but like a superhero show? I don't know. I would argue that the Toaru universe is much more superhero than Bungo Stray Dogs. Yes, maybe. I mean, there are very cool abilities that exist in Toaru in comparison, which I think makes sense in that case. If you're just going by, like, cool abilities and ability factor, like, there are so many cool abilities in Toaru that you could then turn into a superhero show, I suppose. I guess it's like how much or how stingy are you on the definition of what it means to have a how stingy are you on the definition of what it means to run or have a superhero show? I think that's the main difficulty then to decide on, right? At least in my opinion. In my expert opinion. How would you consider that? Is Fire Force is superhero, right? Oh gosh, but then would you consider Soul Eater superhero? I would say Fire Force is considered superhero because contextually all of the superheroes are converted into people that are firefighters, which then means that anything by virtue of that is then a superhero in the eyes of everyone else. So yes, but then would you extend that same thing to would you extend that same thing towards, what's it called? Soul Eater. And there I feel like I would have a little bit of difficulty deciding on whether or not I would think Soul Eater is superhero. Because I can kind of see it, kind of, but at the same time, I don't know if I would say Soul Eater. Even Soul Eaters to some extent, but they exist out of society, so that doesn't count. Yeah, because they're really not like, they're just reaping souls, to be honest. What about Attack on Titan? What would that be considered as? I still think that's like seinen in that whole branch of it, but I don't think Attack on Titan would be superhero whatsoever. I think that's more action adventure, since they eventually leave the city and the walls and everything like that. So that's just army, not superhero. Army is an interesting category to put it in. I can see that. But I don't know how I'd really say army. Besides just being like literal armies, which I guess is self-explanatory. But to have an entire genre for that, that feels like something I would have as a novel updates tag. So, Blue Exorcist, I don't know, Exorcist would fit IMO. Yeah, I could see that one fitting as well, because that one takes place in like regular society and whatnot, and still happens as it is. So I can agree with that. Draw 4, and if 7 or more cards in hand, decrease. Oh, nice. Never mind. Good. We'll do this one. I'm just wondering what else kind of falls in a gray area for whatever you would consider as superhero, because superhero in the anime like category is really difficult to quantify, you know? Like, yes, you can have things like Mob Psycho, but it's still very curious, and Soul Eater as well. Like, how would you consider Hunter x Hunter? Is Hunter x Hunter somewhat superhero then? Kaiju number 8 is superhero? Yeah, I agree. Kaiju number 8 is very much superhero. It has a whole lot of, like, the whole super... It is not? Wait, are you meaning for Hunter x Hunter? Or do you mean for Kaiju number 8? Because Kaiju number 8 absolutely is. Hunter x Hunter is not superhero. But you have people... I guess anyone can technically become a hunter. Hunters are way too selfish. They can be, but I feel like even still, you have something like The Boys, and it's considered superhero. Even Gon is far more self-centered. Yeah, but you can still have something that you can still have a whole bunch of selfish superheroes. Like, let's be real, there are a whole bunch of supervillains and superheroes and whatnot, and if you were going with something like The Boys, which is very focused on just how bad proper superheroes are, then I feel like the selfishness of hunters fits in with that, you know? Kill la Kill is also considered superhero? Really? Really? Is it? But the clothing fibers are what make it... more superhero. But then, how much of superhero potential do you consider by virtue of them just being able to use strong or good technology? Not can, are. Hunters aren't there to defend humanity. They are essentially mercenaries at best when it comes to fighting evil. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I think it stretches to, again, what do you define as being superhero? Because I feel like you can just have a whole bunch of selfish mercenaries running around and you can consider that somewhat superhero. Isn't like, no. I still keep going back to The Boys because that's the best example, but that one's also corporation and everything and put in the spotlight, so it has more elements that make it superhero. Maybe a better way of putting it is that there are elements that make Hunter x Hunter superhero, but it's not enough to qualify all of it as superhero. There are abilities. There are not necessarily transformations unless you consider like Nen to a certain extent, but I don't really agree with that. You've got enemies, anything from the Dark Continent, but you don't really have anyone defined as being pure evil unless you want to try categorize people as being villains or not, but that doesn't really apply. So I feel like it's mostly just the abilities thing that stands out a lot to me. I mean, if I was deciding we need transformation, fighting world's evil in the modern world, they need to act out in the open, so an eminence and shadow wouldn't count, and there needs to be some type of organization organizing the heroes. Yeah? I think so. I think it needs some kind of organization, some kind of transformation, some kind of objective evil per se, where you can clearly define someone as being a supervillain or not. It needs to have a lot of abilities and superpowers, of course. That's a given. And that organization can also be a higher power. Also very true. Also very true. Would you consider No, Death Note probably wouldn't count, but there is a higher organization for the Death Note and whatnot, and then people are granted abilities, but they're not necessarily heroes, and they don't necessarily work in public, even though Kira is technically a proxy for himself working in public. But also, he's not really a hero. It's kind of like anti-hero, corrupted hero, per se. But yeah, I can see something like that. I can agree. I think we agree on this one. Also, I've been talking about this for so long. I've completely lost track of time. My goodness. Sorry about that. Well, maybe you're not sorry. Maybe you, maybe you were expecting this of me. Maybe I was riling you guys up. Okay, surprisingly, Attack on Titan is considered a superhero for being humanity's defenders fight. I still don't know if I'd agree with that. I still don't know about that. However, even if we take this into context, it's the end of stream, so you're not gonna get an answer here. You're not gonna get an answer here. Okay, maybe I'll go with Kore wa zombie desu ka? If that's not too much ecchi. Maybe is that superhero? Is that superhero? I'm not sure. There are so many questions about it. Does it have the superhero tag, or is it on the superhero list? Gosh, there are so many questions when it comes to this. Superhero is such a messy category. I think if we want to define this, we gotta first define that it has to have some kind of organization, some kind of super abilities, some kind of transformation, some kind of, like, fighting for justice or fighting for the people or fighting some very clear bad guys. And, I feel like it would be really easy, but if you can look at it and you can show it to someone and they can point out that it's superhero and you don't have to make any arguments, like it is very clearly, transparently superhero, I think that should count. Okay, and I know that's a little bit vague, but like if you were to take someone and you put them in a cape and you say, yep, this guy is a bald guy that punches things really hard and he's the superhero, then you could probably say, okay, yeah, I can see that being a superhero. But if you have to take something and then they're not sure if it's superhero based on the appearance of it, then it's probably not superhero. You know, like it has to be straightforward. And before Aug will suggest something like Fate Kaleid Liner Prisma Ilia, I will never, ever, ever recommend that. No, not doing that. We've been talking about which animes are superhero. Yeah, we've only been doing that. I've decided that counts as superhero. I'm not gonna make you watch that. Be thankful, I suppose, but I'm not gonna make you watch that. Either way, thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you so much for typing, for chatting, and for this week's, or these 2 weeks? Yeah, these 2 weeks of watching and reading Blue Period together. It's been very fun. Tomorrow, we will be continuing with our first week. We will be continuing with Resident Evil 3 Remake. And if we complete it, then I'll go on to Resident Evil 4 Remake. Otherwise, Spice and Wolf. Keep in mind that we will be watching the first 6 episodes, which I think I'm going to guesstimate, and I could be wrong, so I'm going to double check before I make a post and whatnot. I'm going to guesstimate that it is approximately the first 13 chapters of the manga. Otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful start to your week, or a wonderful night, a wonderful end of your weekend, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye! Bye-bye!